Hey guys, it's Mike the Baldadonis.
Baldadonis.
Today is Thursday, which means
Conspiracy Theories Thursday.
there you go, buddy.
Got it right
Excellent,
this time.
excellent. So Gary, what are we talking about today, buddy?
Today, I'd like to bring the attention to everyone a document called "Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars," and I happen to invest in a little paperwork here, and it's a document. Most of it talks about like finances, how to control a company through the banking system, through the food production, how things are, the wealth is created, and to focus the people down to where things turn out terrible. I don't know. So, if you want more about this, I'm just going to read just a couple things, but you can always Google it and look it up for yourselves. It's patently impossible to discuss social engineering or the automation of society, example, the engineering of social automation systems like silent weapons, on a nation or worldwide scale without implying extensive objectives of social control and destruction of human life, an example, slavery or genocide. And then one other thing, I just want to give you an example of what's in here. In order to achieve total predictable economy, the low-class elements of a society must be brought under total control. Example, must be housebroken, trained, assigned a yoke and long-term social duties from a very early age before they have the opportunity to question the propriety of the matter. In order to achieve such conformity, the lower-class family unit must be disintegrated by a process of increasing preoccupation of parents and the establishment of government-operated daycare centers for the occupationally orphaned children. So those are just two little things that are in the document. You might notice that you know, parents are always busy. We have to pay our bills. I have to pay my bills. I have to get food on the table. So we're always scooting out, and our children are kind of left to fend for themselves, or have to go into daycares or early childhood. The state of New Hampshire is pushing kindergarten for early age.
Is it just New Hampshire or everywhere?
Well, everywhere, but New Hampshire hasn't had it, and now they want it. We've just instilled a gambling, what is it called? The gambling game.
Casinos?
No.
I have no idea. Where's your paperwork? It's on your paperwork.
No, it ain't on my paperwork. I was just the Keno. And they claim that, you know, through the Keno losses, or it would pay for the kindergartens in New Hampshire. So, in other words, we're trying to get kindergarten in because it's a good thing for our children. Sense of indoctrination. Anyway, silent weapons. Some of the silent weapons I'm going to bring here.
Right here? You gonna bring it here?
I'm going to bring it here. GMO food.
Okay.
They're putting nanotechnology in it, and with the GMO food, we're having this problem of labeling it. The mass food producers don't want labels on the food on the food envelopes or whatever. The box is saying this is GMO, genetically modified organism food. So what I'm getting at is they don't let you know what's in the food.
That's correct.
Okay.
I know for a fact that there's 52 names for sugar, and as long as they just say sugar, it's legal.
Right.
You know, it could be cane sugar, it could be corn sugar, which can be a GMO, which you're getting sick from. And I'll talk about that.
Right. This is why I'm on your website, just for health. This is about health and wellness. And if you know a few things, you can look through the prism of silent weapons, quiet wars, and see what your environment is, what your life is involved with, and try to avoid some of this. This is what this is about. So anyway, they don't want you to know about what's in the food. Now, this is not made by mistake. I think that's a great statement. Fluorinated water, it's got toxic agents in it. That's not by mistake either. How about the toxic air? It's got they spray barium, lithium, and aluminum, different and other elements And again, this is not by mistake. It's being done. toxic vaccinations. They have thimerosal in it, mercury, SV40, which is a cancer agent. Again, this is not done by mistake. My wife and I went to a theater and we watched the movie Vaxxed, V-A-X-X, Vax. It's about the CDC with the scientists there knowing that small children getting the vaccinations, the MMR, which is 3 vaccinations all at once, is creating autism in the children. They have documentation on it, say this.
Yeah, but aren't you born with autism?
No.
Oh, we're going to find out. This
Some
is part
cases,
of conspiracy theories.
Well, most people are vaccinated. Children are vaccinated have an autism. It's like 1 in 10 now. It used to be like 1 in.
So they're not born with it, they're getting it injected.
They're getting it because their immune system is so overwhelmed. This is the problem. The human machine is a great
Yes, it is.
biological organism.
Yep.
And since when do we have to keep pumping vaccines and what have you into children and the bodies of humans? It's the $100,000 question. Well, that's, again, it weakens the immune system, and your body's fighting that rather than just disease like it should be. If you have a good immune system, you wouldn't need all these vaccinations because your body naturally would fight it off. But I'm just bringing out categories. I wanted today to show you silent weapons for quiet wars, give you categories, and then divulge in them one topic every week. So we'll have like a little, some kind of order going on rather than being all over the place.
New World Order?
Well, talking about the New World Order, I first heard about this with George Bush the first president, George Walker Bush, is it? When we had the Desert Storm controversy. No, the New World Order. And he goes, we're in a new time now, and the New World Order. See, you can't have a New World Order if you have a United States Constitution. So one way to have a New World Order is to try to get rid of that Constitution. And I think the way things are going, they're trying to do that. It's just wacky. We don't know how good we have it. And if we lose that Constitution, we're going to be like every other country or every other civilization in this world. And they're going to run their New World Order and control the globe. Another form of silent weapons is the electromagnetic energy, which would be cell phones, cell towers, Wi-Fi, and smart meters. Those are just some examples that use a lot of frequencies, electrical frequencies. We're biomass people. We have 75% water, and water and electricity don't work too good together. But we'll go over that as a topic some week. The drugs. The opiate problem is like crazy. Silent weapon. How does it get into this country so much?
Well, they make it here.
They make it here. They also...
do they make it here?
Afghanistan has a lot of opiate production. And the United States military is there guarding those fields and creating better opiates. And
are you just talking about illegal drugs, or are you talking about?
No, I'm talking about
pharmaceutical
and illegal.
Okay.
You know what I mean? We can just blame the Mexicans, which I'm sure that it's coming up through here. But no,
Is that it? Blame the Mexicans?
No, I said we could. We could. They say, it's coming up from the southern border, but that could be a distraction, only because this has been going on since the Clinton administration, between the cocaine and heroin and all this. So I'm not going to explain it here. I can get into it later. But Afghanistan and GNP, gross national product, has risen 66%, and they're the ones that do the opiate. So we have an opiate problem, and
we have all kinds of problems.
Yeah, we do. So how about Ritalin and Prozac? Like, your kids running around crazy. We have to put them on something. This is just a form of getting people's minds off of what reality is. Silent weapon would be cancerous, carcinogenic PABONs in the makeup, antiperspirant. They come out with an antiperspirant now that lasts for 48 hours. Well, aluminum isn't good for the body, and that's what antiperspirants are made out of. We have a tremendous
aluminum.
breast cancer problem, and I'd recommend not using antiperspirant. How about our education system? It's a silent weapon, quiet war, where, you know, everybody's walking around saying the kids are not as smart as they used to be. You know, the United States took over the educational system in 1964, and they have the core program. I mean, they're not teaching kids what we used to be taught. I will get into this later on, but, you know, they teach a lot less cognitive thinking, less logic thinking. Mathematics is down low. It's designed this way so that people are not aspiring or being smarter than they could be, or you know, to get better in their lives. You know, it's a dumbed down, you know, a genetic term of dumbed down. You've heard this before, but this is a form of silent weapons, quiet war, to take advantage of people. How about our television in Hollywood? The propaganda and the social engineering that's on our TV every day. You can call that a silent weapon.
Yeah, I don't watch the news.
No, it's got people in conflict. Oh no, I heard this. No, I heard it that way. You know, we're all beating up each other instead of being Americans and looking out for one another. And it's a left-right. No, you're left, I'm right. Or, you know, you're right and I'm wrong. You know, it should be, we're all Americans. Let's get along. And so they're trying to create this animosity. You know, the skin color. They're bringing that up all the time. It's so bad because we're all Americans. We're all humans. We should be loving one another. How about they're even trying to get into the biology, you know, male, female, and transgender, or, you know, breaking the marriage man and woman contract down to man, woman. You know,
is that a silent?
Yes, it is. It creates chaos. Yes,
okay. It's definitely chaos. I get it. Okay.
You know, that's what it is, and it's just
disrupting the.
See, if we're all like separated as a country, then we're not going to be have unity, and this is what it is. It's about that. I mean, we're losing. Look at, they're starting to pick on the national anthem as a problem, and we can't have a pledge of allegiance in school. We can't have prayer. We have a morality problem in this world. You know, they're taking all these good morality building attributes out of our school system and what have you. I mean, yesterday there was a shooting. The kid was...
and I think I heard that it's either 17 or 20 this year so far. It's only February.
I know, that's what it said.
Right.
So what does that mean? I mean, I'm proud to be who I am. I every day I wake up, I want to love. I want to be better. I want to be able to help. That's what I say to myself, you know? Can I be better for something else? And the world, the way it's going with the propaganda, it's like one for each other, and I don't know. It's just weird. I mean, the person that took the gun and shot everyone like they all do, I'm not feeling that love. I'm not feeling together. You know, adolescents, you don't have a lot of reasoning, so it's selfishness that I don't like anybody, and you end up doing the bad deeds that you do, you know? So if we don't maybe love one another better, or help support, things like that wouldn't help. I mean, hurt. I mean, things like that wouldn't happen, you know? That's my thought. How about the banking system? The banking system's crazy in the sense that, you know, you got loans, debt.
So the bank is a silent weapon.
Oh yeah. The Federal Reserve is an independent banking system, and it's involved with the international bankers, the Queen of England. It's not United States. I mean, it's just one of those good-looking sounding words. The Federal Reserve, which has nothing to do with the United States, except it's a private bank, and we pay money into it. See, banking would be the sense that Congress. We just had they're saying 2 years, it was okay for the budget to pass for 2 years, right? Well, we borrow money from the Federal Reserve. They just print it. Inflation goes up. What I'm getting at is that we get more debt and more debt and more debt. And it's just, if you have to pay that debt off, it's an enslavement of the people, the hardworking people. That we have to honor that. I find it amazing. It's just a highlight that I will take into account some week. Okay? How about NSA, the Patriot Act, the 2012 National Defense Authorization Act that has in it that if you store extra money at your home, you can be considered a terrorist. If you store extra food at home, you know, in case of something in our society breaks down, you know, you have at least 2 weeks of food. They consider that a terrorist thing, which I find is mind-boggling. Why against the American people for this? But it's small things like that. Silent weapon for quiet weapons, silent war for quiet, silent weapons for quiet wars. You got Facebook, Skype. They follow that. Obama phones. You know, people are uptight. What? Why should they get a free cell phone? Well, if you look at this point of view, well, if they get a free cell phone, now they can get the radiation like everyone else gets when they use their phone. And number two, they can be tracked like everyone else is because they have a phone.
Okay, so why would they want to follow somebody that's on the lower class or someone that's not, that doesn't have money? I mean, what are they going to do? That's why they're giving the phones out, right?
Well,
I mean, they even still give out the phones?
Yeah, they still got it. There's a big fraud thing going on.
Is there? I don't know.
They spend up millions of dollars for this stuff.
But if they're giving phones out, that may be true. Then, I mean, you're just tracking basic people that just...
Well, that's what it is. To understand it's just amazing that the computers and the CPUs are gigantic.
Okay.
And the NSA, they just want to collect all this data.
Okay.
Okay, where's your phone? Your phone's right here, so they know where Mike Adonis is right now at 11:30 in the morning, right? You know? And, I mean, if you look at your own cell phone, you can do the spot where it says where you been all day, and it can show you into the gap. You walk by the gap here, and then you walk by
GPS.
Yeah, so tracking. It's not a bad thing, but on the other hand, if they're following you in a sense, they know where you are. So somebody with low income that doesn't have a phone, they wouldn't have the same tracking ability as you do. So,
okay.
Right, we can get into that later. How about cancer? Silent weapon for quiet wars. Cancer, autism, HIV, and AIDS. Those are just a few examples of how people are dying. Cancer is going crazily up and up and up and up, and they don't seem to want to cure it. Only the elites get cured, like President Carter. Somehow he had this bad brain cancer or whatever, and he's doing his good works. I mean, I have to give him credit. He's the only president I know that's really doing good works for people, you know. Okay, so all this is considered like a soft kill, all those little things. How about NAFTA, free trade programs, outsourcing our jobs to the country?
So how's that a silent killer?
Because now people are in debt. They don't have jobs. You know, families are in stress. You know, the hope is gone.
Well, how about this? I was watching something on HBO, and Americans don't want to work for X amount of money. They do not want to work for
statement. Yeah.
For a certain budget. They had prison inmates, saying, I ain't doing this, picking up watermelons or whatever it was on the farm.
Right.
So that's why the immigrants, that's why the farmers were like, we need immigrants to help us with this, because they're the only people that actually want to work.
Right.
You know, but you get inmates that don't want to pick up and do anything. They're out of their cell,
right,
all right, doing something, and they don't want to do it.
I understand. Well, that's why they're probably in the cell, because they don't want to do anything. But on the other hand, why should they have to work? They're prisoners, you know, if they don't want.
No, I'm speaking from experience.
Yeah.
For me to get out of my cell, to get outside,
right,
that was a special privilege.
Right, it's an incentive.
If you want to get out of your building.
Okay, so they get out and now they don't want to work.
Now they don't want to work.
Well, it's an attitude situation.
You know?
But, you know, okay, so you're talking about how Americans don't want to work for less to do something that they think they should get more.
It's beneath them.
Right. Well,
you know?
Well, you know, growing food they try to cut as much cost as they can, you know, just picking, you know, is it a $20 an hour job, and then the farmer really doesn't make a big profit, he's paying all the workers.
Right,
This is why they're getting into machinery and GPS machines that'll do it all themselves, and they don't need workers. It's amazing that they'll buy that technology, but they won't pay humans for
Well, yeah,
invest in humans, you know? And that's what the whole thing is
Well,
about.
because humans don't want to do anything. Americans don't want to do it. If
Okay.
You know, if you're going to spend X amount of money on a machine
Right.
versus people, and they get paid for the health insurance.
Right. Well, that's a quagmire here. We got all these regulations. This is why people don't want to hire humans, because you got regulations, you got tax, Social Security, FICA, you know, workman's comp. You know, all those things accumulate to the man hour. So yeah, he's paying me $15 an hour, but literally he's giving the government and everyone else $45 on your 15, so it's actually 60. You know, so this is why they're going out of the country. You see, which came first? All these regulations, which are good in its sense, or I'm going to escape the country so I don't have to pay all that. See, it's about greed and profit. Basically, that's what it is. I mean, I keep asking the question, why does a company need to make like $15 billion profit this year, and next year you're going to make $15.5 billion in profit? I mean, when's enough profit enough profit? You know what I'm saying?
It's never enough.
Yeah. I mean, another silent weapon can be the debt. College students are in debt. Let's take out a loan. We're going to go to college. College is so damn expensive. Like $50,000, $60,000, $70,000. It's going to take them years to pay that off if they honor it. You know what I'm saying? So debt is an enslavement, and that is considered a silent weapon. I mean, I'd like to get into each one topic a little bit more thoroughly.
All right, sounds good.
But those are some. So that's what's in our environment. And you know what I mean? These are the things we dodge and can't dodge. You know, some things we can prevent or avoid, and that's what I want to bring up. But there is a document out there called "Silent Weapons for Quiet Wars." It came out in 1959, and it was found in a copy machine on 1986. And
it was stuck in a machine all those years?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
It was a Xerox machine. They happened to find this document of.
You think it was just placed there?
Well,
coincidental?
some people
You know
say
what I
it
mean?
was by divine intervention that we found it.
I didn't know. That sounds like a conspiracy.
There you go.
That sounds like a conspiracy. We just happened to find this from the 50s.
Maybe.
I
I
don't
don't know. Well, we know about it now.
That's why we have Thursdays.
Yeah. So.
We'll always have Thursdays, Gary.
Yeah. Alex Huxley wrote a kind of this silent weapon type of stuff is a kind of a painless concentration camp for the entire society, so that people will in fact have their liberties taken away, but will be distracted from any desire to rebel. But propaganda or brainwashing by the pharmaceutical methods will help this get through.
All right.
So anyway, I hope it was a little informative.
All right, so we're going to wrap it up?
Yep.
All right, so guys, Conspiracy Theory Thursdays with Gary from the gym, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
All right,
definitely.
Baldadonis out.